Hi, my name is Margaret and welcome to my artsy corner of the internet. So today I'm going to be reacting to BTS's Black Swan. I don't know a whole lot about K-pop, but I am interested in it because all of the K-poppers, is that what they call them? Probably not. They have like extensive training in dance, which is not something you really see in the music scene in America. Even if they do dance, it's not usually technical, and I think the technique level expected from K-poppers is much higher. I find them like cooler because I like dance. And I heard somebody say Black Swan is more modern contemporary flavoring than most typical K-pop choreography and style, and so I was like, I would love to see that, and so here we are. This might be a complete mess. I've actually never filmed something where there's a screen and a thing and a me and I have to do the thing, and so I have two different videos. I have their dance practice video, which is, okay, I just think that concept is so cool to have like dance practice videos. I love watching that. I have their 2020 MMA isn't MMA mixed martial arts? I have never seen anything. Yeah, okay, let's just dive in. Wow. Right off the back, this is like a super cool opening position. I really like how everything is very open and like their lines are really open. And I think that's something also that like you think a lot about in classical dance forms like ballet, like it's all about like opening your body towards the camera or the audience. And so I think here it's really cool because they have very dynamic shapes, but both the spacing between the dancers and the actual like negative space around their body is like large, so it's very legible while still feeling like they're intertwined. Okay, the first couple notes made me feel like somebody was in this room with me. Like somebody was talking outside the door. That was creepy. Okay. Ooh. Hang on, I know it was 20 seconds, but that was really good. I want to go back. Okay. First of all, they're clearly super well rehearsed. I can tell within the first like 5 seconds that like they're incredibly well rehearsed. And I guess it helps because they also sing the music, so they know the music so well that hitting those cues is actually easier because they are the music and they're dancing to the music. The full bodiness of their like ripple and then just like their hands. I think it's moving from like full body to such a subtle gesture that you can tell that there's almost like disgust intention behind every move. Like every move is assigned a quality or an intention or a purpose. And I think that's one of the things that just like makes a dance so interesting to watch, is when it's very clear that each move has a purpose and is like a word in a sentence. I promise I'll let this play eventually. There. It's such like a fluid thing, and then they go into pa pa pa, and it's a very nice like contrasting dynamic that they're still playing with. Okay, I'm gonna let it continue. A little bit of this like little turn right here. It's we're just gonna continue. I want to see more. Oh, so it seems like the kind of concept for this choreography is going from smooth to sharp, which is it's just really nice. It's a nice. I mean, I guess we're only a minute into like 3 minutes, but I think it's really interesting because as a contemporary dancer, so often it's a very contemporary structure, and most of the vocabulary, like movement vocabulary, most of the movement vocabulary that we use is contemporary balletic more so, and then recently a trend in contemporary dance has been adding in more hip-hop, breakdancing, kind of floor work and like popping and that kind of stuff as like accents or a little bit of like seasoning and flavoring into the more contemporary piece. And I think what's really interesting about this and why I'm like is because it's still very much more of like a hip-hoppy, K-poppy kind of dance, but there's elements and like a flavoring of a little bit more balletic vocabulary. It doesn't feel like they're getting rid of, I don't know what I was saying. Okay. I think another thing that's really interesting is like this choreography is in a lot of ways like very like fluid, and then as I kind of said, like interrupted with like moments of like sharp microscopically. There's always a sense of like growing and reaching and continuing to move, and here it's very fluid. And now I'm gonna stop it. I really got confused. I was like, why is the solo person not dancing and all the people around them are dancing? And then I realized that the person in the middle is probably singing. Not something I deal with on a day-to-day basis, so I'm a little bit of a dum-dum. We love a little wave. They do a little. I'm just dissecting a moment they do. I always call it a flying squirrel. I don't think that's the technical term for it. It's actually surprisingly a move that is in so many different genres of dance. Like pretty much all jazz, contemporary, lyrical people know it. It's not in ballet. There's a lot of hip hop styles, like break dancers use that. It's also in like, I don't know if it's capoeira, but tricking kind of parkour-esque too. They all have this like little floor leap in it. I think it's interesting. I was just looking because they're on the ground and they kind of scoot back forward, and they have both hands on the ground and they go forward, back, forward. It's one of those moves that looks better as a group because you see the whole group kind of go, so that's why I had to watch it 8 times because I was watching every single person. But I also think it helps set up the surprise of the flying squirrel. Again, not the technical name, I don't know the technical name of it, but it helps set it up really nicely because you're kind of rocking and then their weight is going towards their feet because they're rocking forward, and then in order to do that flying squirrel thing, you have to send your weight basically back. The little rocks help to make it a surprising move because they're rocking forward, which means you expect them to continue going this way, and instead they go the other way, backwards. But it also does make that a really hard transition. So I keep on saying that it's harder to go front, front, and then into the flying squirrel. And it apparently would have been easier to go back, front, back, and then into the flying squirrel. And then I was like, that doesn't sound right. So I tested it out, and yes, I am in fact just stupid. It's like impossible to go back and then back again because you need the momentum of the swinging. So basically past me was just really stupid, and I'm sorry, but I tested it out and there you go. They all look good doing it though, so it's not like I'm like picking them apart. They look great. Little motif there. Okay, that part's really fun because you can clearly kind of see that juxtaposition between a more hip-hoppy style and a more balletic style, because they basically do the same step but in 2 different styles right after each other. I think also they do like this kind of arm move like hoom, hoom, and I think that's interesting. When I think of Black Swan, I think of like Swan Lake, and their whole arm is this, like that's like the whole port de bras, hoom, hoom, home, home. So seeing this in a different style, I think is really interesting. I don't know if that was like the inspiration for that move, but I definitely think that that like impetus on that is really interesting. And also, I guess it's more of like a step touchy, but it very much looks like a tendu to the side, but just in a different style, which I think is really, really cool. That's kind of right there, that same air being puffed into your armpits movement. Again, another little motif. They have a lot of little motifs sprinkled in there. Ooh, that was kind of fun. That was a little bit more balladic. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, it's now blurry. There is something in this song that makes it sound like somebody is talking, like outside my door, and it's freaking me out. Okay, I don't know why it's so blurry. Ooh, ooh, a little. They did a little reversal at the end. I love dances that do that like build up like this and then the end is like the reversal of it. Very satisfying. I think that's interesting. That little part where they go to like a passe, double play front, side, back is really interesting because they are like very upright when they go to the front and the side, which is very like ballet modern kind of technique of like being like very up and your legs are just moving. But then they do such a good job of being in such an upright place and then like dropping their head fully, which is another thing that like I have a couple teachers who love talking about, that is like the full release of the head, and it really carries the whole momentum and the shape of the body. And I think also like your head is so heavy that when you release it, you're just naturally going to like boom, and it's like a pendulum or like a weight or something, and it's so satisfying to watch because if you kind of play it safe and are like boom, it's kind of like it looks cool, but going from a very upright place, just being like, looks so good. Very impressive, very impressive. And the fact that they do that when singing, like, very impressive. Okay, now we have the performance. Clouds, love it. Very dramatic. The moon, got it. Oh, are they gonna blow up the world? That doesn't... solar eclipse, got it. Ooh, that's cool. Sorry, I'm gonna shut up now. Sorry, that was just really cool. Ooh. Okay, listen, I'm sorry. I said I wasn't gonna pause it, but because whatever's about to happen looks really cool. I love like stage design and lighting, and that lighting of the stage is so cool. I don't know how they did it. I do wonder, the whole thing of like Swan Lake is that it takes place at a lake with swans. And like, I don't know, like I feel like when I see this, I'm like, yeah, no, that's what I saw in my head when I watched Swan Lake. So I think if that's what they're going for their inspiration, they did a really good job. I love a cello. Sorry. This is a sick set. Ooh, water. Is that real? Whoa, wait, is that like real water? I have always wanted to flood a stage. I want to so badly. Okay, also I love how big the cast is, like how many dancers on the set. I think just like an epic set and like an epic number of people is so cool. I'm sorry though, that's water. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Dude, I'm in love. This is fantastic. This opening thing right here. there's obviously like so much happening. His like eye direction is just so good. Eyes are so important, but like they're so small, so we forget about them when like we're thinking in dance and everything. But like what you are like saying with your eyes and what you are looking at is like if I'm looking at the camera, it's very different than like if I'm talking over here. And I talk over here like a lot, but then you just kind of feel like you're looking into my conversation. But now all of a sudden I'm looking at you. And like, what if I like look at you like this versus like, what if I look at you like this? And like, this does not mean to become like an acting class, but like there's something different between having like something behind your eyes and just kind of being like, yeah, no, I'm just kind of like talking to you because you're just like there. And like the way that he has like an intensity in his eyes and he is so clear with like what and who he is looking at makes the rest of his dancing just like look cleaner. Also the lift, crazy. Oh, that's also what I was gonna say. This part right here, Crystal Plate's The Seasons Canon. This is instantly what it reminded me of. It's very similar, I think, I mean, this idea of having like a really long line of people. I mean, it's always beautiful. Like it always looks amazing, but it has been done many times, obviously in different ways, and it always looks different and absolutely fantastic. But it just reminded me of that, so I thought I would talk about it. Oh my gosh, I'm having such a good time. This is amazing. Okay. I love it. Oh, yes, wave. Oh, I thought he was gonna wave, just kidding. Oh, yes, a little butt stick. Okay, his leg actually goes up pretty high. I feel like especially with more like especially with more hip-hop styled male dancers, I always expect their legs to be like tops 90, which maybe isn't good, but like I don't know, I feel like hip-hop is just not something, you're not like stretching every single day. Like yeah, you need flexibility, but you don't need like contortion flexibility to do it most often. And so I don't expect their legs to go as high. This is not like a mean thing, it's just like I don't expect them. But like, look at, yes. Like that's pretty high. If we're gonna talk about like classical technique, you know, legs can't be bent and like he is curving ever so slightly. But again, for somebody who's not in like a balletic style, like that's very impressive. Like you can tell that he has at least some training in other dance styles, which like read through in everything that he does. Oh, I was like, how did they go in slow motion? I think they edited it to be slow motion. I was like, that's really impressive. Yes, a very classical ballet lift. Although he is lifting him like on his chest, which does take a lot more strength. A lot of times when you lift, you kind of lift and you kind of hold them close to like your center, because it's a little bit easier to hold here. He's lifting up here, which can be dangerous. It can be dangerous. Oh my gosh, words. It can be dangerous if you are lifting like this. I don't know if you can see. I'm sitting in the worst position, but if your back is like arched like this and you try to lift somebody up on your chest, that's compressing your spine so much, and that's gonna hurt if you do it repeatedly. I can't tell because I'm looking at like a front angle of this, so I can't tell if he's doing that. But also what I was gonna say, whoever's being lifted has such a nice extension, and if you can kind of see it too, they're both mirroring the same like C curve kind of, which makes the whole thing look like it has the same angle, which I think is really like their spines and their legs are making the same arch, and with this extended head involved too, so that also doesn't break that flow. And then like with the reaching of this arm, it's such a nice lengthened and like cohesive lift. That's nice. Nice momentum. The way that they carry their body out, like, I don't know if you've ever like thrown a frisbee, you kind of throw it, you release it where you want it to go, but then you still kind of like let your hand like fly afterwards to like, I don't know, like that arc. is really nice when you do it in dance. So you're coming here and you're gonna follow this into the next thing so it doesn't break the momentum. And that also helps when you're doing a partnering close to this like kind of style. Having that momentum helps, so that way you can get into the lifts easier and you can go over the back easier, because all of the momentum that you're building, you're using it to help you, instead of, oh, we did this really, really cool lift and then I'm gonna put you down and then we're gonna spin around and then I'm gonna try to get back on your back, but you already like stopped the momentum flow, so it's gonna be much harder to continue it. Really nice. And cute. I love that kind of style of like, not, sometimes like manipulation, where you're kind of like grabbing a shoulder and pushing them and they push you. And I think it's such a nice like connectivity, and you can tell that like they're very like in it together. They're really like listening to like the touch of the other person, so they know what's happening. Oh, they're all in black now. Wow, okay, that's cool. I kind of got distracted by their masks for a second, the backup dancers. Really nice. The simple gestures against that kind of crazy background is also really nice. There's the same little arm motif. Really nice. I love some organized chaos. Ooh. CGI bird. Okay. What? Why was there just like a dove at the end? I'm sorry, I was with them fully until that bird at the end. That was not a swan. Not my favorite with the bird at the end, not gonna lie. I think I almost would have just liked him to like look into the water and then like look up at the camera. Yeah, I kind of also totally forgot that they were doing that all in water. I don't know how many takes they took, but like, did anybody just like fully like whoop, bam in the water? Because like, man, if anybody has a stage show where you get to dance in water, hire me, please. I want to dance in water so badly. Yeah, wow, okay. I did not expect to enjoy that much. Like, I thought I would be like entertained, but that's like impressive. Yeah, that's it, okay. Oh. Thank you guys for watching. I forgot to say that. I'm a terrible person. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to have you here in my little corner. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, bye guys.